We have some hippies out there and 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 hippies out there.
We're only 45 minutes late today.
Dude, I'm 45 minutes late everywhere I go. From now on...
Except you were supposed to be at Grow Science at 9:30.
Dude, I knew that. Kristen dropped the bombshell on me yesterday, and I was like, can't even argue.
Man, I arranged my haircut all early and still messed it up.
What is good, everybody? We are back, and K-Book, I still got my haircut. That was not about to be missed. Although, I gotta say to my barber, check this out, man. I had this talk with him this morning, all right? I was like, bro, because he said get here at 7. Then he text me, like, where you at? So I'm thinking, like, he's waiting on me, right? So I get in there, and this motherfucker is already cutting someone's hair. I'm like, dog, first off, why are you texting me like you're waiting?
How late were you?
I was like 15 minutes late.
This man.
Bro,
after he tells me he makes special arrangements with his barber to get his hair cut
I did,
hours.
but let me tell you what happens.
Then he's late.
Let me tell you, because this is what I told him. I said, Casey, every time I make my appointment with you, you're always finishing up someone's head or have somebody in the chair, right? Like, because you do this little, you got a couple VIPs you let come in, and you always tell me to be here at this time, and there's always somebody in the chair when I get here at the time you tell me to be.
How often are you there at the time, though?
Hey, listen, I'm not always late to the barber, all right?
I see video proof.
We'll check out. We'll check my timestamp when I walk in on the camera. You know what I'm saying? Yo, it is your boy, Young Hippy. I got my guy, K-Book. What time is it?
No, it's 4:20 somewhere.
Hey.
And with that, shout out to our sponsor, Grow Science, for always keeping us in the very best flour.
What the fuck? You just pulled out another mystery
Oh, yeah,
bag?
I got one more. That's apple fritter.
What a hoe.
That's mine.
This is yours?
That's the one I was hunting for all week that I couldn't find.
You ass. Hey, listen. You got to kick me off a gram, bro.
I will.
Apple fritter it's the one, dog. Like, it's the one, man. And, it's in my tent. I'm so excited. Cut me some clones off the other day. I think I'm going to keep the apple fritter plant mothered out if it's the winter, right? Because I do have more seeds, but why go through the struggle of popping them if I find a winner? I'll save that down the road. Anyway, I'm sorry. We got a special guest in the building. Check it out. Look, man, I'm terrible at remembering names. You're just my bro from TeaCo. That's what I call you every time I talk about it on the live. It'll be like, check out my bro from TeaCo, man. I appreciate him. But that's my fault. Like, it has nothing to do with you. I do not remember anybody's name for shit. So I do apologize. I don't even think you ever told me.
I don't think I ever did either.
Hell yeah. So maybe I'm not in the hot seat right now.
You're not. Being the owner of TeaCo is good enough.
Okay. We'll take that. We got the owner of TeaCo.
Also known as Scotty Abrams.
Scotty Abrams. Hell yeah.
Hey, I'll say this. At least the marketing's down. He remembers TeaCo.
I can't forget because TeaCo has, and I'm telling y'all right now, I ain't getting paid to say this. I'm telling my guy straight to his face. TeaCo has done wonders for my garden, right? Like, I'm not hyping it up. I was so fixed on just running Floraflex my entire growing life, right? I was just like, Floraflex and Athena CalMag. It works. I don't need shit else, right? Why? And then slowly I introduced that bamboo silica because it was just sitting on my shelf because when I went to the hydroponic store, they just gave it to me. So I was like, oh, this is cool, a little welcoming gift. And I never used it because I didn't know what the fuck it was for. Right? I didn't know what to do with it. And one day I was just like, all right, man, fuck it. I'll just drop it in and see what happens. Nothing happened but good things, right? I saw the plants just...
Nothing happened but good things.
Right? I'm just like, the plants started like kind of getting beefy on me. And like, I'm like, oh, I'm going to enter this all the time. So then, we start talking and chopping it up. And he's like, bro, you think that's dope? I got some other shit that'll blow your mind. I was like, what you talking about, Scotty? What you talking about, Scotty? Send that my way. So that's when he pulled up to the studio, gave me the tea and the Phos Fixer. I'm on my first. This is my first week using the Phos Fixer because I know you said use it in when you flush, but I am on week 7. So I slowly introduced it, and with week 7, there's no CalMag. It's just a little bit of the full tilt, which I'm pretty sure is like phosphorus and all that other shit.
Yep, exactly.
So I just put that, and then I put that Phos Fixer, and you don't even need any fucking pH balance, bro. Like, that shit balances it. And I'm always tripping. I'm like, okay, bro, one of these mixes, I'm gonna get one that's not what I need to be, and I pull the shit down because I'm used to and since I started using the tea, I haven't had to use my pH balance. Like, I still check the pH every day, but I don't have to lower it or raise it. It's at 6.0 every single time.
Yeah, it stabilizes the actual molecular structure of the water.
Oh, it does that?
Yeah. So, but it's coming back to the science part of it, it's organism based versus the full tilt or the Floraflex is actually mineral based.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's the difference as far as the concept is the minerals are required to feed the plant. The biologicals or the organisms increase the size of the tube or speed up the uptake of the mineral.
Oh my goodness. Now that makes even more sense. Now for some of you guys that don't know what the tube is, that's obviously the stem, right? Because when you cut that shit, it looks like a straw. You could drink water out of it, right? You cut your stem, cut another end, you could go sip some water. It got you a weed stem straw. So I noticed on my ice milk plants this week, I was just looking at them because they just blew up like crazy. But not only that, like the base stem it's just fat. And it's not just fat at the bottom. Yeah. It's fat the whole way up. Like, you could just yank the damn plant from the top and it'd be straight.
Yeah. And, well, what you're seeing there is the tubes can be represented by many different things, but the most important tube that we want to build is the roots.
Okay.
So roots are the foundation of everything. So both the wider the tube, the root, or more root mass, the bigger the plant, the faster the uptake.
Man, and I'm doing this all in 3-gallon pots. So
So the idea there is that if you increase the diameter or the size or the mass of your roots, you can actually deliver more of those minerals and elements to the plant, which encourages the girth usually on your stem or your stalk structure.
Sheesh. Okay, look, are you ready yet?
Can I just say, first of all, I want to be ready. I just don't have the space. But can I say, I'm floored by, I guess I won't say floored, but I am proud of how much you know about this and how much easier you talk about it than in December when you first started putting everything together.
Dude, and I feel more comfortable.
Like, just the way you speak about it, I can tell you know what you're talking about, even though I know those are English words, but I don't know what they mean.
Yeah. And some shit, I ain't gonna lie, I didn't know what 45% of it meant until right now. I was just throwing it out there like, let's see if I'm right. And yeah, dude, a lot of it, like I said, and try to prove on Instagram is really how bad do you want it, right? And for someone like me and us who really love weed, it was like, okay, let's take that passion for my smoking of weed and put it into growing. And, you know, anytime I get fucking addicted to something because I'm an addict, it's just like full force addiction. So I'm in the garage every 10 minutes, even though nothing's happened within that 10 minutes. But like, if you look, something does happen within those 10 minutes. You just have to look closely. So like, that's just the little shit I'm looking for. Just like the little things so I can notate it and just be like, okay, maybe next time I won't do that. Like, I really was debating on tossing a plant, man. It was a Gushers plant. It was sitting in the back. The leaves were all fucking curled up. It was just fucked off. And I was like, I really didn't care about it. I was just like, fuck it. It's just part of the gang now. Like, but then I was like, nah, man, like I'm not gonna do her like that, you know.
Bring her up.
I pulled her to the front. I took off all the fucked up leaves, you know. kind of flushed it a little bit, and then I started its little diet all over again, and now it's just like on steroids. And I keep the fucked up leaves just to show people like this is what it was, and now this is what it is. But I've lollipopped it, and it's just blowing up, dude. So growing is it's fucking fun, dude. Like it sucks because you can't leave, like. Unless, like, even with all the shit attached to my phone, like, I hate leaving the crib because it's just like, fuck, if something goes wrong, all I can do is hit the shut-off switch. Like, that's it. Just kill everything.
Well, which obviously does have its effects, but it's better than the outcome if you didn't.
Yeah, or
so
burning the fucking house down
Yeah.
because shit gets too hot.
Yeah, you don't want to do that. The tools themselves should work for you.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No,
not against you.
they're definitely serving their purpose, right? I don't want to be too dependent on the tools, right? Because what if that shit does just go to shit? Now, I'll have to go in there and manually turn on and off the lights, manually feed them, which I do. The clones, I hand water and stuff, but other than that, a lot of shit is just automated, so... Let's get into the weeks, man. My week's been exciting. K-Bug, I won't even speak for your week. How was it, brother?
I mean, it was actually, I feel like it was exciting. It was good. It was, like you said, I guess it was kind of exciting now that I'm thinking about it. But it was also, like, kind of just a chill, like, normal week, I guess, now.
Yeah, the most excitement was just our little 2-hour meeting.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like we got a lot of work done that we've kind of been putting off. Let's be real.
For 2 years.
But no, we did get a lot of work done, and there's some other things coming together. I mean, I guess we can talk a little bit about, we set up our partnership with our new web developer to continue to have a web developer to work with us to really improve the site to be a space for
the community.
Information for the community.
Creative expression.
Really. And, like, we've come to the realization that we've been able to create a good community around the show, and now we've found a way that maybe we can give a little bit more back through the website and having more information out there that'll help people.
Hard, boy. That hit you hard, dog.
Yeah, man.
That's a good thing. I was like, yeah, he's
it's
hitting the soul right there, boy.
It gives, like, to be more than just something that you can listen to once a week. Really.
Yeah, you're paying it forward, and the idea is it's a value add.
Yeah, and we wanna help move this in the right direction, because like we were talking about before the show, of course it's not perfect yet. We're just getting to where we are, but it's a lot better than it was X amount of years ago. And as we continue to work as a group, as a community, to add to this industry, really, it's something that you can do it positively, and we're just trying to show everybody that you can do it positively.
And you can succeed by doing it positively.
Yeah, for sure.
The idea there is, I think, as with any industry, you evolve. And I think something that happened this week that a lot of people are almost under addressing is New York.
I have it written on my notebook of something to talk about.
It's pretty, I don't think most people recognize the true, like, scale and mass and inertia that will create. That'll benefit us all. But yes, I think what you're going to see from New York, obviously New Mexico, a little closer to home, but much smaller.
New York's on a national,
Yeah.
The eyes are nationally on New York because of New York City. And everybody sees that. And not only, I liked a lot of things I read about what New York is doing with legalization. I really like.
What are they doing, Kyle?
Well, some of the things they are doing is they are wiping people's records clean, like, without having to, it doesn't sound like you got to apply for it or anything. If you have a record based on something that's now legal, you don't have a record for it anymore.
The term would be expungement.
Expungement. There we go.
Hell yeah.
Okay,
Yes.
so
Which is a huge
That's
deal,
huge.
both for the actual individual as well as the taxpayer.
I also read,
sick.
and I don't know, I didn't dig into exactly what, but I read that at least a portion of the taxed money is going into funds to go back into communities that are considered to be negatively impacted by things like the war on drugs.
Exactly.
So I don't know what that actually means or looks like when they roll it out, but the fact that that's in the law, I can't be anything but happy about that. And the thing that probably isn't that big of a deal, but it's the biggest deal to me, is in New York City, or in New York now, today, anywhere that you can smoke tobacco, you can light that thing up.
Hey, say what?
Without getting arrested.
We are about to go to New York. New York. Hippies on the way, baby. Let's go.
And to me,
Put it on the business
for
card
me
when we get it.
personally, I want to be. My goal is to see this in a situation where, if I could drink a Bud Light at a barbecue, I could smoke a joint at a barbecue and not have to go hide from the kids. And this, to me, is a step in that direction.
Well, look, I'll say this. I don't hide from the kids, but I try not to be open. That's probably just the one. But I get what you're saying.
But here's the thing.
Don't.
How many people openly drink in front of their children?
I did.
That being said, that's a good point because we've normalized one set and sort of,
Demonized the
or
other?
shamed. But you can see it happened, obviously, with certain things. The funniest one would be like pregnant women smoking. Like literally, we could all find an advertisement online right now of when they used to advertise to pregnant women to smoke. So there's a curve there, right? However, as we were talking about before, and what I see in Colorado is the delivery mechanisms will become very creative enterprises.
Where it won't be the same as smoking a joint anyway.
Or if the boys want to step out, or if the girls want to step out, or if a joint wants to be consumed as a group ritual, they'll step off to the side. Versus if they say one particular product category that's going very quickly up there, as I was telling you, which is gummies, where nobody's actually watching you deliver that consumable into your mouth or sees the effects. So
They're like hella nosy and like, damn, bro, you've been over here eating a lot of gummies this party. Like, I know, bro, I love gummies. Leave me the fuck alone.
they're 10 milligrams a piece. I got to get up to 100.
You want some? Like, you good or nah?
I know that it's not gonna be an automatic thing for sure, but I feel like pushing more in that direction where it's as normal as asking your 3-year-old kid to go to the refrigerator and get a beer for you.
Damn. I remember them days.
Take
a little sip on the way.
And you know what? I can remember getting beers for my dad and never even thinking about taking a sip.
Yeah.
I did.
But you know what I mean?
Alcohol in my blood.
This is something that dad is okay to drink, and it's not for kids. And,
Yeah.
how is pot any different than beer?
To that point, and to add on to New York, something that we should advocate as an industry as whole is access, where you're seeing THC cap type legislation coming into the play where people want to limit the THC percentage. I actually think that would benefit the community to kind of cater to lower THC products for 18 to 21, if you will. Kind of like the 3-2 beer is what we have up in Colorado.
3-2 beers.
Yeah. Which
You don't know?
Go
you
ahead.
don't know about this?
Nah, I've never been to Colorado.
So in Colorado, because of the higher elevation, they have like
It's basically a beer light. It's a very low alcohol
there's a lower
beer.
alcohol percentage.
And-
a normal Bud
fuck?
Light is like 5, and like a Bud Light there is like 3 or 3.5 or something like that.
And here's the weird part about it is the way they used to do it is grocery stores could only sell 3-2 beer.
Oh.
Liquor stores
You gotta
could
go
sell And they were different licenses. And the reason why I point this out is because this is very important in New York. Because I want you guys to realize that the way that true creative expression works is on the local level. So if you give access to these local, hyper-local, I would suggest environments to distribute cannabis, grow cannabis, manufacture cannabis products, what you'll see is those local brands will start to move around in that marketplace and provide a lot of value for the consumer. So that's it. Is I see in Colorado, particularly with respect to these higher THC products, there's only a certain demo of people that are coming in for those anymore.
Right?
So the idea is we don't walk into the liquor store looking for the Everclear.
That too in
Right.
OKC, like
You're absolutely right.
Yeah. So it
on the
becomes much
wall,
more
they have
diverse.
the thousands, and this in OKC, it's still medical, right? So on the wall, they'll have the thousands, 500s, 800s, all the way down to 50s. And you see people snagging like the hundreds in the 50s more than you would see anyone come in for 1,000. Like you get like the kids that want to be like, man, I'm trying to get fucked up today. Let me get one of them thousands. But like no adult is coming in like, let me get one of those thousands. They're like, I gotta work today. Let me get 100 that I can just eat on through the day with the 10 pieces. And they're solid, or they'll get like because all of them have 10 pieces, because that's the most you can have, right?
Exactly.
It's the 10 pieces,
Yeah.
but it equals to the milligrams.
The 100.
Yeah. So
And what you'll see is you'll actually see, and I've seen this up firsthand in Colorado, is you'll see people start to administer them like an Advil or like a Tylenol.
Yeah.
Where they actually recognize the amount of milligrams they're looking for and the benefits that those milligrams actually provide. Yeah. So, which is really important because now, as we were talking about, is it provides value to the consumer.
yeah.
Because it's you guys, I want you to realize, especially down here, we don't have the maturity of the market yet, but it's an incredibly dynamic market. It's not monolithic. Like it's not a one size fits all. And you see people trying to do that down here. And what I try to express is let people be creative and see how the people who consume respond.
Yeah, respond to that. That's kind of like the key of business here. Your consumers are the ones that should be determining what's on your shelf, right? And that's what I try to tell people.
Versus the regulator.
Right? And that's what I tell people. I'm like, if you're really upset with this company or this brand, just stop buying it. That's how you get the message clear. Stop. Yeah, dude, that shit blew my head off. Like that's why I'm gonna be apologizing this whole time.
Woo.
I'm sorry.
Thank you, Jordan.
It's fire.
Wow. Is that the
mixed salad?
the
here.
salad?
Yeah,
the
man.
grow science salad.
You can taste the OG out of all of them.
Yeah.
It's dumb.
I had to pull.
That'll be enough
So you
for
got
me.
everything in there with the
No
fritter,
problem,
right?
brother. Huh?
You got everything in there but the fritter.
Yeah, I want to roll a blunt of that. If I gotta drop you some coin, you let me know.
I'm taking your money, bro.
You know how it is. You be like, but make sure you have an ounce for me on Harvard.
Another thing about New York too that's really huge is it's basically going to allow people who got popped to participate. And it was crazy because in Colorado, I don't know what it's like down here. I'm not that familiar, but in Colorado, we tried to start hiring whether veterans and previous convicted felons. And we did a lot in the hemp industry because we were allowed, but at first in the cannabis industry we weren't.
So a felon couldn't work in the cannabis industry in Colorado at first?
No.
But in New York, you're saying that they're going to give them
Well,
that
because they're going to
opportunity.
be expunged already. So
Oh,
they're
that's
not gonna
right.
be,
Yeah.
have
That
a criminal
shit, there
record.
wouldn't even be a record if
Right.
okay.
So, and if you look up like Last Prisoner Project would be a perfect example. If you look that up, that's a group of cannabis advocates that are going to these lawmakers. Because the thing about law is it's a net.
Okay.
Right? There's layers. So it's like when you get the guy at the top who has the will to say, yo, it's all done, it sends a signal to the people below that are in the legal environment that we're done with this conversation. We're not, don't even bring it to us
This isn't even
anymore.
worth talking about any longer.
Nope. The sand, it's like sand on a high tide, bro.
Just wash it away.
Bro,
Wow.
I'm
And that's gonna be the joys of our website, bro. Not like it's obviously it has nothing to do with the government. I'm just saying like the freedom for us to be able to inform people the way we want without our shit.
And not have Facebook take it down?
Or Instagram flagging us and getting suspended off that shit. Like that.
So, once again, symbolism matters and signals matter, you guys. So that's so important because these companies, which are free market environments for expression of freedom, were actually deploying these policies and the algorithms probably based on somebody sitting above them saying, hey, man, we want to limit this. And now they've got the legal protection.
Wow.
And something another thing about New York that's very important, which
you keep just dropping facts. I already want to go there, and now you just keep let's fucking pack the suitcase and go this weekend, Kyle. Like, fuck it. We should just. Are the laws in place yet? Like, is it in action?
There's no dispensary for rec set up yet, but
it's legal.
But it's legal.
But here's another even more important and Hippy, you know how important this is they have grow your own. Anybody can start growing their own six now.
Oh shit!
Which is huge for the grower community.
Listen,
it's like,
New York, if there's any home growers out there that got that fire, hit your boys up. We might make that trip. Especially when the dispensaries get on. We should look in to see if they take out-of-state medical cards. Some states do that.
Do they have medical in New York?
They do, but it's a limited license model.
Mm-hmm.
It's controlled by probably, at the end of the day, you guys, a limited license model, all it means is that the guy handing out the license to do it is only giving it to a certain amount of people. So it's not the consumer who wins. It's actually the regulator who. So it's a limited license model. It just shifted from that to this new law that Cuomo signed and to basically making it one of the most free market enterprises on the map.
As it should be.
And another thing that everybody in New York, all right, when you think of New York, what do we all think about? We think of money, financial hub, right? When it comes to the nuts and bolts of it. These people now will be able to access bank accounts, which means that the transactional fees, everything's going to go down.
That's sick.
Mm-hmm.
And it's the optics of it too. It is the optics of it, not only across the rest of the country. Like now, New York City is doing this, and they're cool with it. And that's international optics on it too. Because everybody across the world knows what New York City is. Can't go to a country in the world and say New York City and have them look at you like you're crazy. Well, you probably could find some places. I won't speak totally, but most places you want to go
right
across the world, the people there have at least heard of New York City. So it's big time, and if it being that open, which I didn't know quite how open it was. You definitely know more about the nuts and bolts of it than I do. But with what you've told me, and with it being New York, you can only see that there are so many opportunities to make it look normal across the rest of the country.
Indeed. It's a watershed moment. And something that, let's be a little shrewd here, business people, right? Why? Because obviously there have been people who have been more or less trying to minimize the impact that the industry that we're betting on. So now we're not betting on horses anymore. We're betting on jockeys. Does that make sense? So the idea there is let people be creative. Let people and the consumer base determine the outcomes.
Yeah.
And if you can have that with a free market and a fair environment and access to financial services, I would suggest we can compete in that marketplace just fine to feed our families.
Yeah. And to me, at the end of the day, that's all I really need. I'm not trying to do this to become a conglomerate. I don't need
exactly.
I don't need to it'd be nice to have so much money that I didn't know what to do with it, but I don't need that.
You want the opportunity for that.
Right.
And then you choose whether or not that comes into play. But the key is and this is very important because it does come back to even the microbes that you're using is its strength through diversity, which means that we're actually stronger, more secure, and all wealthier when more of us participate in the actual process. And cannabis, I don't like to use the term exploit. I think it's a little negative. But at the end of the day, I think cannabis people as a whole who understand the industry, who consume the products, should now exploit the advantage of a New York becoming legal to encourage their communities to participate. Yes. Yep.
That's wild.
One
Shout
last
out to New
thing
York.
that I want to mention that I just remembered is I did go get this new pipe this week because I wanted something that looked a little bit fancier. I like the little
Sherlock.
smoking my pipe, reading my book action at home at night.
That is a nice little pipe.
It's a little guy.
It's beautiful.
Makes you look smarter.
I got it at Bud's Glass Joint.
Oh, okay.
And
I
they
still haven't
they
shopped
actually
there.
give out 20% for medical patients.
Shout out to Buds.
Word.
I
Local.
need that 20.
Local.
There you go. There it is.
I forget who the local glass blower was from this specific pipe, but they actually have, like, I think at the very least it's got the person's name in, like, Phoenix or Tucson or wherever.
That's an artisan, basically. Yep, somebody who's making it here for better quality, and yeah, it's kind of fun.
I like it.
What's your week look like, man?
My week looks good. It's getting warmer out there,
Yeah.
so people are putting plants in the ground, or plants are growing. I think coming back to the cannabis thing, I think there's a lot to be positive, a lot to be grateful. With respect to the local environment as far as Arizona and Phoenix in general, I think everybody should just keep advocating for more access and openness.
Oh, yeah.
Do you have any, like, ideas of how people can do that?
It's a great question.
Because here's I 100% agree with that, but besides doing this to bring awareness personally, if there's other ways that I can get involved or spread the word for others to do stuff that can get involved, like, where can we make an impact?
Man, it's a good question. It really is. I think first and foremost, on the ground level, it's basically just engaging with your peers and making them feel comfortable with it. Obviously, once we provide value, I think most people would actually support both the industry and the cause. That being said, I think, as with any market, I think people should encourage safe consumption. And then with respect to places to consume, see what that expression looks like. We call them consumption lounges up in Colorado. I know Nevada has them. I know OKC has
They
them.
have some in California depending on, like, city. I know I was in Palm Springs, and they have at least two there that I came across. One that I went into, which I was like, wow. It was a dispensary that had a lounge, so you literally could go in there, purchase, and then go sit on the couch. They had papers. This was pre-COVID, of course, as well. Right. So they had, like, papers and bongs and bowls and you name it, they had it out. Coffee tables, TVs, it was somewhere that if I lived in Palm Springs, I would probably go hang out there, like, on a Friday or Saturday night because it was something to do to get out of the house. But you're basically sitting in the house, but you could go sit in the house with other people.
It's a local neighborhood joint.
Yeah. And if, like, I would love to be able to smoke anywhere that somebody could smoke tobacco, but if we had lounges like that here, I would consider going out on the weekends again, if you know what I mean. Like,
Right,
I'm not
right.
going out to the bar anymore on the weekends. It's not happening. A, I'm too old. B, I don't drink. C, I don't like seeing drunk people anymore.
At the end of the day, you're a consumer like anything else. So you're choosing not to participate.
Yeah. And if I'm going to the bar for like a friend's party or event or something like that, I'm waiting to go home or trying to figure out where I can go smoke.
Right. Right.
And that's all I'm doing. I'm not enjoying myself.
Yeah. Yeah. No,
But if
understood.
there was a lounge that I could go smoke at with other smokers,
Yeah, what we have even here.
Why not? You
why wouldn't I?
know what I'm saying?
That's what this is about. Like, to me, this plant is something that I first started consuming in a circle.
Yeah, it's very, yes.
And it was rarely something back then that I did by myself. I'm not saying you shouldn't smoke by yourself by any means, but to me, it's first and foremost, it's a group ritual.
And it's having the choice.
Yeah.
Yeah, having the choice. With respect to the creative expression of that environment in Palm Springs, it says everything you need to know. It's like somebody is providing that through their own creative expression.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is, there's a lot of value there. And I think, as with anything, if the value is there, can it be expanded upon?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Word. I'm sorry, I have an emergency.
You have a plant emergency?
Yeah. I'm like over here working it out through the phone. We're good. My week, that's what this shit, that's my week. That's what this looks like right here. Just me.
Hanging with the girls?
Yeah, I'm glad Kristen's home. She's there to save the day per usual.
So am I going to have to thank her for growing this weed?
Chill. She does get like,
She gets a footnote?
she gets like,
Ooh.
I'll give her like 40%.
40%. All
Yeah.
right.
All right.
Doing the damn thing.
Teamwork makes the dream work.
Hey, I like that. You hashtag that on my shit. I was like, this is my guy, man.
No, that's big on the West Coast. That's the thing. It's let's grow together. It's teamwork makes the dream work. It's going to be local, you guys. It's happening locally. There are going to be people who are going to try to stamp it nationally with brands, and there's no value, or I should say, there's a lot of value in that, but. The idea there is that we all get to participate.
To me, those brands go towards the optics of it.
Yes.
And like I said before, everybody knows what Bud Light is, and there's always going to be a market for that. And if the local communities grow and improve around the connoisseur market or the customer market, so to speak,
Yeah.
there's going to always be a market for that. And I mean, that would be the equivalent of all the craft breweries popping up in all the different parts of the country.
You're going to see the craft market is going to be
Wild.
It's going to be beautiful. It will be a beautiful expression of freedom. It will be hyper local, particularly with respect in these markets that allow it on the licensing level. And then once again, is after a while in any industry, you keep showing up. We keep, doing it every day. You become part of,
Normal society.
I would suggest even better than normal.
Yeah.
Because you see a lot of the pivots right now towards cannabis-related products with respect to whether it's CBD or THC. So there's a lot of science going into these things now, and that's knowing more and having more data is going to be incredibly important as we move into the future.
What's your big plans for TeaCo, man? Like, I see you're started in Colorado, right?
We started in Colorado, and basically what we pitch is the biological side of the plant growing process.
Yeah. Okay. which honestly, dude, has major benefits, right? Can you explain some, like, the benefits that I don't listen.
Hey,
I can't break it down like you can, right? I could just tell him, like, the shit works, right?
Okay, so that's very important you say that, because really at the end of the day, it's a tool.
Okay.
Okay, and it should be a tool for any gardener. And in the old world, you guys, we basically ask people to fertilize their yards with salts and minerals. Okay. What we're doing now is we're figuring out that if we remove the salt and mineral part of it and add the biological, we can actually increase the performance of the plant, because you're basically making the soil more secure. So in the case of the cannabis plant, is if we increase the uptake of the minerals that are being provided via the biological input, you get bigger flowers. I would also suggest right now we're even putting bacterial and fungal blends together to encourage more terpene contents. And then identifying certain, like, markers or cursors with respect to specific molecules. And you'll see in the genetics it'll go to that too. But what we're trying to do is we're trying to encourage more people who are using a lot of fertilizers to use biologicals with respect to maybe a 60-40 or 70-30. And what they'll do is they'll see that those will actually increase the health of the plant as well as the yield.
So, and my very limited to no knowledge of this is going to ask some questions.
Yes.
So essentially, like, big picture, if you're looking at a traditional yard, so to speak, it's basically dead soil that they're just putting salts and minerals into.
Correct. And then water on top
And then water. And that basically, however much they put in, that's what's in there. And once it's used up, it's used up. Or it washes away.
You most of it does actually wash away.
Okay.
Yes.
And that makes sense as well. Now, introducing the biological side of it is actually putting living organisms into this dead soil, which, in theory, if they're not all used up, they continue living. And they're in the soil. And they could create more of what's already in there. Yeah?
Basically, exactly. So the soil isn't dead, it's inert.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? Mm-hmm. If we infuse organisms that are alive and then feed those organisms, which are usually on, we'll call it material or organics, mm-hmm. they will then have the ability to do exactly what you just said.
You're building the very, very bottom level of the food chain.
Yes, exactly. And then the idea there is if you build that, you're securing.
It's eventually more sustainable.
It's combination more sustainable, and at the end of the day, it gives you a bigger yield, which comes back to what Jordan was saying, which is like most people wouldn't care unless they saw their plants explode or
right.
not. So if their plants explode, they care.
Right.
So once they introduce biologicals to their system,
and they see the benefits, it's a win-win-win.
Exactly. So what we're trying to encourage, and this is something that I really try to pitch with the local thing, is we actually make living liquid cultures. These cultures can then be deployed onto the soils locally, which would encourage them to grow, and whatever they're growing is healthier and yields more.
And it would also, and I mean, big picture in an outdoor environment, like regular, like a yard per se, would there be a point in time where you've introduced enough biology to it that it would sustain itself?
The answer is yes. It comes in two parts. One could be a dried organic input, mm-hmm. and you give it time to break down. Mm-hmm. Compost would be a perfect example. And the compost industry around here is exploding, and we need more people who have compost and compost. So that organic matter is dried. In our case, it would be a liquid. So we would make the equivalent of it's a probiotic for a plant. We would then deploy that into the ground, which would encourage the ground to grow.
To grow.
Yes.
I'm fascinated.
It's wild, bro. And to see it actually working in front of your eyes is even more crazy. Like I was telling them,
Seeing it
like, dude, well, that, yeah.
scooting in the water.
Yeah, that, but like when you feed, you get less runoff that I was getting before. I'm not feeding anymore.
Same amount of water.
Yeah, same amounts on the same timer, and there's little to no water at the bottom of the trays. And that's
Which
because
means
the
it's
plants
sucking it
are,
up.
yeah, the plants,
Indeed.
Which
and it's
means
not because
it's
they're,
easier to suck it up.
yeah, the plants aren't thirsty. They just, like, I think like you said, shit. Oh, Lord. Oh, you said something about when you take your vitamins or your minerals. Oh, shit. You know what?
Maybe like an athlete.
Yeah.
Would because when an athlete needs minerals and vitamins very quickly, they make it in liquid soluble form.
Yes. And then
Because it
boom.
goes right in. It's like mainlining them. If,
Yeah.
or IVing them.
So we're
Yeah.
IVing the plants, bro. Mainlining them.
The
So
plant's got a cramp on the field. We got to take them in the back,
Uh-huh.
go IV in.
it all comes down to that uptake.
Yeah.
Makes
Yes.
sense.
And you see it everywhere from the root stocks or the stock root, whatever. I'm still learning terminology. The fan leaves for sure. The chlorophyll is just like there's just more green, dude. It's on point, bro.
Back to the chlorophyll.
Yeah, no, and the science is there, and even something that's really important, with respect to the people who are deploying it, because the science is getting better all the time. So the idea is those on the local level are the ones who deploy it. So if we can get those beneficial organisms everywhere, which is why obviously, the cannabis guys, the one thing that it's sort of the elephant in the room with them is the indoors guys all use salt, right? So they're pouring, minerals and elements down the drain. There's a lot of people who are very sensitive about that. Obviously, we want to minimize that runoff as much as we can through expanding the roots. So what you're seeing is actually the expansion of the roots.
That is so tight. I'm starting to fall in love with science again, bro. Like if I ever was.
So where can all our new home growers in New York City and beyond find this magic stuff from you?
Obviously, I'll let you guys do that, but no, this is something that's so important. It's so important is the science behind it, just so you guys know, is right on Wikipedia, right? It's so cool to get people. This is why I love people in the cannabis community is they research their stuff. And I want to give a shout out to all of the people I know in this industry that have their own products, because there's a bunch of them now. And what we're trying to encourage is I would love to encourage people to actually start making their local brews. And these local custom brews can then be deployed on...
Hell no, I'm only using TeaCo. I'm only using... If it ain't broke, don't fix it, bro.
Well, that's local for us, so we're good.
But he's talking about make your own now. I look like,
because that's what you're doing. You're making your own.
True, but... I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just mixing shit, all right? I'm just reading and following directions.
You're just following the recipe?
And writing shit down as I go.
You do good with recipes.
Yeah, but I'm only using TeaCo. I'm not, look, no offense to anybody else, but I'm that person.
Remember when you said you were only going to use whatever you said at the beginning of the show for your entire growing career? Quit saying only.
No, I'm only using TeaCo and Floraflex.
It's a good point.
Evolve, son.
It is a good point, and something to be said about that. Because I've been around since 2009. Okay, and most of the companies that are around now are way better at it than I am. All right.
Now he sounds like Matt.
It's the science. It is. It's the science. So it's like, hey, everybody is actually now customizing their own formula.
No,
Just
I
like
dropped
if
that
they were
shit in the res, and within
And
hours.
then they're running it on their plants, and then they're tweaking their formula specific to what they're running, is what you're saying.
And we're now doing it literally from the home gardener to the commercial indoor to the commercial outdoor to the ornamental plant or the commodity farmer.
So now, if I'm understanding correctly, could I get all of the pieces to make my own brew directly from you?
No, because you'll always need the water. So, and that's the thing is I want you guys to realize that the water is what brings us all together. Without it, we're dust. So the water is our most precious resource. So how we deploy the water and what the water does for us as far as the yield and the strength of the plant matters, because if we can't get it to absorb because there's no root systems there, then we have more runoff.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what should I be doing to my houseplant water that I'm not doing because I'm taking it straight from the faucet into the soil? I'm just being real.
It's a good, filtering the water.
Should I use my Brita filter?
You certainly could. This particular organism or set of organisms isn't going to be affected by it. And we now have the technology within the organism structure to, it's a very nuanced point you're making. Chlorinated water isn't always good water for plants.
Yeah, I just go to the water machine and fill my shit up every time. But yeah, you got that filter. I read somewhere, like some people drop, what is that? Hydrogen peroxide in the water and let it sit for 24 hours with the lid off, or some shit like that.
There are ways to treat, yes, the water, whether it be with like a tablet.
Okay.
Or water softener, or obviously a lot of people RO filters.
Yeah, see,
chlorine and sediment.
we will have to invest in that RO filter, young cow.
And then there's different ways to deploy water depending on the scale.
Mm-hmm.
But we really want to recognize the value of the water.
Right.
Especially as we live in the desert. So it's like, hey, we want to use this water as much and as well as we can. And I think with respect to the concept or the, whether it's cannabis or lawn and landscape, is we want to deploy more organism-based systems and technology versus mineral or element-based. And then lastly, what I would suggest is silica, which was the first product you grabbed.
Yeah.
The key to the silica market is where it's derived from. So if you look at the majority of the silica market, it's going to be derived from minerals and elements, quartz, rocks. There's a milling process. Versus what we're trying to do with our particular product is we're getting it from a plant.
Yeah, the bamboo.
Correct, which is
Okay.
a renewable resource.
Yeah.
So it's very important is we need silica in our society to benefit plants and ourselves as an element.
What is the silica's purpose? Its main purpose?
So in our cases, it's SiO2, which if you look at that mineral and element, it basically builds cellular tissue and structure.
Okay. Okay.
So yes, everybody needs it.
And if you look it up, like if you actually Googled it, you would see most of the way that it's consumed on the consumer market is by humans as a supplement.
Wait, so you can take that shit?
Yeah.
Time out.
Yeah.
Anybody that's taking that shit, first and foremost, I know your breath stink. Secondly, you sick. That shit smells worse than chitlins, bruh. And I'll eat chitlins. I wouldn't even think about but you said it's like sugar, right? Like some.
Well, in the case of the plant, it's highly micronized.
Okay.
But when you see people who take it in the store, it's usually in a pill or like a gel, like a plastic
I
gel.
thought
tab.
bro was drinking it out the gallon. I was like, yo, chill, buddy. Chill. You don't want to go that route. I'm telling you. I know the benefits are there, bruh, but how bad do you want it? Man, this is why I brought you in today, dude.
Knowledge.
Exactly.
Knowledge bombs.
Because now, now I know what I'm putting in my plants, right? Like, I never felt like I was harming them, bro. Like, I didn't do any research behind this shit. I trusted you. Like, I was like, bro knows what he's doing. I saw Chef Ginger Kid using it, you know what I'm saying? And his plants look fun. His plants look older than mine, and they're younger than mine. And I was like, hold the fuck up. Like, what is he using? I'm sorry, production. That's how confused I was. I was like, what is going on here? Mm-hmm. And then I hit my dude up, and I was like, yo, I got the bamboo silica, but what is Chef using that I'm not using? Oh, he got the tea. He got this. I'll bring you a sample. All right. Hell yeah. Sounds good. Dropped it in there. I was like, I'm going to be a regular. Like, that's going to regularly go into my you seen last time I got 4 bags, bro. And that's courtesy to him, because that's the kind of customer service he'll provide, dude. Now, I don't know if y'all will all get that same hippie life treatment, but my guy will bless you, and he'll deliver it to you. Like, it doesn't get any better than that. If you're somebody like paranoid like me who doesn't want to leave the plants, get the newts dropped off to the crib. You'll be straight. There you go. Thank you for coming in today, man.
Yeah, no, it's fun. No, you guys are great. No, I appreciate that for sure.
We're going to be bringing you around more, dude. Like,
I appreciate it. You guys are...
I know I'm going to need the Foss Fixer. I'm not almost running out of that. I know. I was like, okay, the tea works, so I don't need to jump all the way in with the Foss Fixer. So I go 1.
I was going to ask you, you're using the full tilt?
Yeah.
Sweet. So and you're at week 7?
Yeah.
Yeah,
So it's
go
only
with it.
full tilt and the Foss Fixer.
Yeah, that's fine.
And nothing else, and good water.
Stable pH.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, you'll like that.
Yeah, the fucking pH doesn't move. Production, I'm sorry. My mind is blown. I know we're supposed to tone back on the F-bombs and everything else. But for someone who's checked their pH almost every single day for the last 4 to 5 months and have to drop some acid or base in there.
Have to do something to adjust it.
And now not have to do... I'm almost to the point to where I don't want to check it, but I'm like, nah, don't be an idiot. Like, just check it to be safe,
like, you
right?
trust that you don't have to check it, but check it to be safe.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like,
that's participation, which keep doing that.
Yeah.
Because that
keep
experience
doing
is...
that.
Yeah. You don't... So here's the thing. And it made perfect sense when Matt said it. He was like, why the fuck did you get a why'd you get a Floraflex? And I said, well, I didn't buy it. I want it. And he was like, good. Because the whole point of growing weed at home is to hand water it. That's the experience, dude. And I was like, man, I'm sorry you're so mad at me. I was like, I swear that I didn't buy it. They gave, my dude, it's your garden. Grow, do it how you want it. I'm just saying, like.
I love Matt.
So I do hand water the clones and stuff, and I get what he's saying, man. It's
you get in there,
yeah,
because
you want to, you want to. Then I start picking it up, and I start looking at it and just snipping stuff, and I'm like, oh man, this is so pretty. So,
dude, I walk around my house and look at my houseplants like that every day.
I can't wait till you come over and your mind is just blown when you take pictures, bro. Like those pictures I posted yesterday. Sometime, maybe this time next week.
Okay.
Because Thursday or, wait. I don't know. I have to look at the calendar.
All right.
But we're close. We're
so
close.
Probably this week sometime.
Today's the 3rd.
Yeah. So I got week 8. I got to at least do a week of flush, like pure flush. And then Brad says he does like minimum 60 days. So I might go with his shit. But also it's the plant. So really we'll see what happens in week 8, man.
So I probably I should probably figure out.
Head your ass over soon,
this
man.
Week.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
And then you can take some pictures when I chop too, because we can get all close and put them in the light box and shit.
Yeah.
Because right now you can't.
Right. They're where
there.
they are.
Yeah. But dude, you want to do some shouts or you want to do some questions? I'm so high.
Let's do some.
I don't know where I'm at in time right now.
Because I'm running out of time.
Yeah. Bro,
that blunt worked.
Yeah.
Wow.
Like, bro, I feel like we just lost half the day, but I had to force myself to smoke that. And that's never happened to me. I've never had to be like, dude, you're gonna
I had to
smoke this,
force myself through that guy.
bro.
Hey,
That's where it's at.
that,
I
that's
watched
why-
it
that-
happen.
Dude, I'll be honest with you.
I'm
I just smoked Cali
It's
Tree
great.
for the last 2 weeks, and I'm happy I'm smoking Grow Science right now.
Bro, because well,
Yeah. It was, I mean, it
I
was,
had
you could
some
always
good-
stop by Casa de Hippy, and I'll give you some weed and shit. I've had some good shit, some meat breath. I thought I brought some last week, or the Tyson's Punch. I brought something, but it was from the streets.
I don't remember, bro.
Shout out K Blue, who you got, man?
Man, I don't know. Come back to me.
Okay, I'll definitely do that. Scotty, my guy, who you shouting out, man? You got any you want to give?
yeah, you and K-Bug. Yeah. I mean,
Thank you,
come on.
bro.
Yeah, you guys invited me here. Dude,
Shout out
huge.
to you, man.
Yeah, and obviously, let's grow together.
We are, bro.
Yeah.
We are. Like, I feel like you're just as involved in my grow as I am. Because, like, if you see something, you always hit me up. And you're always asking about it. How's this working? How's that working? And the fact that you were, like, you pushed me to use it on the house plant, on Jackson's plants. Like, yeah, man. Like, it's not just about the product, man. It's the message on just making the world a prettier place, bro. And I'm behind that
Hell
shit.
yeah.
Like,
Appreciate that.
I'm behind that. Like, you'll be my next homie in the industry that's doing something to better the environment, and I'm all about that. So anything I can do, that's why I'm gonna keep shouting your product out, using it, and anything else I could do, you let me know, man. For sure. And I got some bud for you when it's trim time. You know that.
Same, all around.
Same.
Same, all around. Yes, no, and I mean, let's just say I'm humbled for sure, because I think the progression is what I like to see.
Yeah.
Okay, and I've been in the industry long enough to know that everybody wins if you participate, and that's the approach. That's the It's like
Everybody wins.
everybody wins, and it's like, hey, we might not all agree on how we do it or the approach we take, as much as we can agree that we're trying to provide value.
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
Let's
which
do
is which is very important, I think. So shout out to you two.
Thank you, brother. Well, you're part of the gang now, man. Don't go nowhere.
Yo,
Me?
Yeah, shout out.
Listen, man, I'm shouting out the entire world because they deserve it.
Hell
Even
yeah.
the haters. And then the fam at home.
NYC.
I see him right here. The young lady's hair looking crazy. She still hasn't put any clothes on. Typical. Mrs. She's saving the plants over there. And doing more, man. Just keeping the fort locked down. And she let me out the doghouse this week, which I well deserved to be in. I swear to God, on my entire life, I am not going back in that bitch. Like, from here on out. Like, yeah. I fucked up. Not getting into details,
That's cool.
but I fucked up. I'm lucky to be home. Let's just say sobriety's good though. So we didn't do that. But yeah. Cable, who you got?
All right, I gotta first of all shout out all the listeners, and I forgot to mention earlier the
Yeah.
reason we brought this. Well, a couple of reasons you brought it today, but the 2021 Las Vegas Cannabis Awards opened up their nominations on the 1st, and they're open for nominations through May 1st, April 1st.
Wait, April 1st to May 1st.
April 1st to May 1st for nominations, and then the voting will be after that. So, everybody, go nominate us again. We want to take the trophy back. You can go to Las Vegas Cannabis Awards Official.com and put in your nomination there. We're going to have something up on the website really shortly, so keep an eye out for that, and we're going to bring it back to Arizona.
Hell yeah. You can vote every day. You can vote there. You can vote on Instagram. You can vote
And
on
we might have some
Facebook.
raffles coming up for the voting,
Hell yeah.
so
Hey,
look for that too.
also, vote for Nug Jules for best artist.
Yes.
Let's get her fucking let's bring every trophy we can
To Arizona.
back to AZ.
From Las Vegas.
We getting you one next year.
What category are you guys in?
Art Entertainment.
It's under. I think it's under like publications.
No,
or
it's
something.
entertainment.
Is it entertainment?
Yes, sir.
It's entertainment.
Yes, sir. Entertainment.
It's towards the
category.
bottom.
Okay.
Yeah, Hippy Chronicles.
It is under Hippy Chronicles.
Yeah, let's do
But
it.
I think you can just straight. Yeah, you'll find it.
Yep, I'll find it.
Yeah,
so the
and
consumer.
we're gonna have something on the website before the nomination period is over, and we will let you know.
Like tonight.
Well,
Because, hey,
maybe not
listen,
tonight.
it's Tuesday. We out.
Tuesday.
Yo, Hippy, K-Bug, my guy, Scotty, man. Hey, listen, if you're in the Valley, you can hit Scotty up personally, TeaCo on the gram, or are y'all at,
TeaCoBiosupply.com.
okay, see
Yeah.
your green, though?
They have it over there, and then I'm going to go over to Green Life soon as well.
Hell yes. Yes.
I haven't been over
because
there.
Green Life is right down the street from my house.
Yeah, I got to get over there.
Peoria.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's where I go to get my shit.
Cool. Okay, cool.
You'll love it there. The dudes are
You'll
dope.
love it
Like,
there.
Okay.
you're gonna be talking to people that know what you're talking about.
Yeah, and I love the community down here. So
Yeah,
they're
dude,
great.
like-
Everybody's great.
Green Life is I mean, like, I'm not saying anything bad about any other hydroponic store because I've been to 3 of them, but I really fuck with Green Life, man. Like,
Yeah, I actually, at the end of the day, everybody's going to do well. You might even, more people should be doing it. So
least I know
we
what
want
to
grow
grow.
your own people.
you know what? I'm not.
Grow
gonna-
It is all about grow your own people.
All
are
the
best.
way. Up.
Everybody else shop at Green Life, Scotty. I'm hitting you up. Ha! Look, young
Thank
Hippy
you.
K-Book, Scotty, 118. I don't fucking
118.
know. We'll figure it out. We
It's
out.
118.
That's some grow science
Peace.
weed for you. Go get it.